Okay guys, I want to take you clear to the end with this project. There's a couple of things when if you're putting flip clips in your homemade slingshot and you have 1 inch of thickness, then you've got some options. Now on this one, see, I trimmed that down until it's just 3/4 of an inch, and I just got that standard flip clip ring on there. So that works just like it does on the Scout slingshot. On this one, I've inlaid it down inside there. So you just counterbore this. What I like about this fork tip is I put the 1/2 inch radius on this, and if it gets a fork hit, it deflects the BB and it doesn't put as much shock onto the frame. Very effective. The little black ring on the flip clips, it takes a 7/16 inch hole to lay it down in like that. I just put this one in the drill press over there and set the depth stop to get that depth. This HDPE is the worst material I've ever seen for climbing a bit. So it's supposed to look like this, and it's fine on that side. Over here is where the bit grabbed the thing and it just crawled right up the bit, and it ruined this slingshot. So clamping it down in your drill press, you can clamp it down to your drill press just as easy as it's clamped onto this mill drill. Okay, so I got that one centered up real nice in there. But again, you can deburr that just by hand with a countersink bit. Here's the little black ring that comes with the flip clips. Now you see it'll fit right down in there. Now you got to calculate out how deep you drill that. You still need that 3/4 of an inch of thickness in there. So there's that one. And so now you see radius fork tip. Okay guys, I'm going to show you what I mean when I say it'll climb up the bit. If you have this thing set to stop there so it doesn't drill all the way through, but you don't hold this down firmly, it'll climb right up the bit. Like that. And ruin what you're trying to do. I've ruined so many slingshots like that, and it's a real bummer because it's finished. How do you finish the HDPE? And I say it's finished, you don't need to do anything to it. And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, this thing's pretty darn nice. It's got clean cuts off of all the router. You know, it got planed on the surfaces, got clean cut with the router on the sides, and the radius bits left a clean cut. But it'll have sharp edges that you can clean off. Okay, you can clean them off really easy with a scraper, just a plain old utility knife. And you can see if you hold it, you know, 20 or 30 degrees, whatever that is, hold it like that, you can just scrape those the crowns off of those off the top of those. And these fuzzies, you can just take the utility knife and whack them out. So you have, you know, a sharp on every corner. Just take that blade and peel those sharps like that. It's just like using a scraper in woodworking. So this stuff scrapes super easily. So anywhere you have a sharp corner, you can just scrape it off like that. You just keep working around this thing, and once you get the hang of running the scraper, you can deburr it everywhere, and you're ready to go. So when you get the slingshot all done and it doesn't fit you, you can carve this stuff away. So let me see, you know, if there's a lump there, you can take this just like I was doing, and you can carve it like this until you get it down where you need it. So, I mean, it doesn't take long at all to take off quite a bit of material when you're scraping like that. And then if you get handy with it, you can leave a fairly decent finish like that. If you want to do the ultimate, you can sand it and polish it. It's a 1725 RPM buffer, a slow speed buffer, and plastic rouge, and so this orange has been sanded and buffed. Sanded with 320 aluminum oxide and then buffed back up. Okay guys, I know you're gonna look at this pad sander and go, he can't sand that slingshot with a pad sander. The orbital action of the pad sander, it tears off the little hairs of plastic instead of making it really fuzzy. Okay, so I went over and I drilled the holes for those lanyards, and there again you could just use the countersink by hand. But you know, the pad sander, it has a foam pad, it has flat surface, and then it has all this edge, and you can work that edge around on this. So let me show you how this works. You should definitely wear a dust mask for that. I just didn't put it on because of the video. Now, if you want to do in the areas where you obviously can't get the pad sander, if you take the 320 paper and use it in an orbital fashion in a circular motion like that, it'll give you the same results. It just takes you a while longer. One of the complaints you hear about HDPE or poly slingshots is that they're slick and they don't have a good grip. And that's true. They are slippery. But sanding it is not the solution, or I haven't found it to be the solution. You could take this slingshot and leave it like this, and then after you used it for a couple weeks, it'll look shiny again. From the oils on your hand and everything, it'll come back up shiny. So what I do is I put tape on it if I want to put grip on them. So this guy is just, you know, put the tape where you want it. This is just boxing tape. You use hockey stick tape. You could use regular medical tape. When it gets messed up, you just take it off and put new tape on it. I'm going to buff it with this blue plastic buffing compound. Okay guys, let's see. This is the one I had over on the buffer. So you can see, you can get it. It really feels nice when they've been done like that. So this one came out of the sheet that we made in the part 1 video. So for contrast, this is one that has not been sanded and buffed, and see how you can see the router margins and stuff. You know, you can see the marks from the planer, you can see the chatter from the router bits. It's minimal, and it would work fine like this. Just depends on what you want. There's the other one that came out of the sheet that we did. in the first video. Man, that's a sexy mother there. I love it when they have that Damascus-y look to them. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about some of the problems I've had with HDPE too. So I got pretty stoked. I thought I found some silver buckets and some blue buckets. So this is I got these over at Lowe's, and they wouldn't melt together, not very well. So you could see, you know, and here, see these cracks and voids. If you get anything like that, I would not use it. And what I noticed when I worked these buckets was, like when I had them cut into strips or smaller pieces, if I bent the bucket, it was brittle and they snapped. And none of the other buckets have been like that. Personally, I'm not going to melt it again. It's not chemically right. Grey Wolf was awesome, and he sent me some Folgers coffee containers and some milk jugs, and they would not come together for me. So I guess it's, like I said, it depends on what you find acceptable, but there's hairline looking cracks all over this, and there ain't no way I'm making a fork and pulling that toward my face. So it doesn't always work, is what I'm telling. You can tell when it's together. There's no cracks. There's not even air bubbles in this one. Just be safe and have fun. So I can end with a pile of frames. See you guys.